Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to look at PixArk on the Nintendo Switch 2 and see if it fixes the game at all. Because if you played it on the Switch 1, it never truly got the proper updates or patches to really get the most out of the Switch. Like on PC, it's still getting updates. Even the PlayStation 4 version got this, I think it's called the Skyward update. Correct me in the comments down below, where they added in the Sky Islands and stuff like that. So that even they got that. The Switch got nothing. I think the Switch got like one patch, and that was it. And in this game on the Switch, I built a huge ice castle, which you're probably seeing right now. I'm watching it as I'm filming, so I can try to line up with what's going on the screen. But yeah, I spent about 120 hours on this game. Most of it was made, building this. This was the game I would play on my break at work, because I used to work at a big wine warehouse. So every break, I would go out, and I would pretty much work on this giant base that you see right now. So I'll show off the entire base while I'm talking through this whole thing. It does feel like it's finally locked at 30 FPS, at least in walking around my base and everything. I didn't fly around the entire world or anything like that. Honestly, I was having issues with the control layout because I forgot how clunky the layout is for this game, and it's one of the many reasons why I stopped playing it. I got my cool dragon out front, and you'll see the whole reason I built this base so big is because the giant doors, the giant dinosaur doors, were so massive. I'm like, holy crap, why is it so big? So I ended up building around the doorway. That's why this base, or this dome, is so big. And then I built a cool little ice castle on top because I'm like, oh cool, they got ice blocks. That's awesome. And I put a bunch of polar bears in there and stuff like that too. So anyway, as you can see, when I back up from the building itself, kind of it doesn't load properly, like the pop-in. So I was hoping the Switch 2 would fix that. It does not. And when I look out to the world, it's still not loading the world very far off either. So the draw distance is the same. I was hoping it would fix that too, but you can see like it looks like the world just falls off. No, as you go throughout the world, it'll, pop in and render the world. I remember on the original Switch, it looks terrible. It does look slightly better. I want to say it was less than 720 on the original Switch. It feels like it's up-resed a little bit. Like, it's not as fuzzy playing on the big screen TV. I have not tried it in docked or handheld mode on the new system. I remember handheld mode on the old system, it actually looked a little better because the screen was smaller. But when you played it on the big TV on the OG Switch, it was really fuzzy. So, and I played this also on the PlayStation 4. The PlayStation 4 version crashed quite a lot. It suffered from a lot of the same issues. It did look pretty good. Graphically it looked pretty good on the PlayStation 4. I have it on Steam, but it doesn't really have good controller support. It just has, mouse and keyboard. It's designed for mouse controls, and I'm not a big fan of that, so I barely touched the PC version. I feel like this could be one of those games where if they patched it and fixed it up, I mean, it's too late now, right? Because it's been so long. I mean, who knows? Maybe if they rebrand it as a Switch 2 game, this could be one of their biggest games. Like, think about it. The idea is there. It's basically you tame creatures like Pokemon. It's got the block building of Minecraft, and it's got the dungeon crawling of, let's say, Fantasy Life. And if they can tweak it to where it's not so difficult, like you die in like one hit in this game. Even if you lower the changing the stats like in other Ark does nothing in this game, at least not on the Switch version. Like, I'll be walking around max level, boom, I get killed in one hit. I'm like, what the hell? And so do your creatures. So if they just added more options, like Power World, you can turn off your creatures dying, your pals getting killed. I kind of want that for Ark too, because I hate that, especially when you're in single player. Online, PvP makes total sense. It's a competitive thing. It's part of the competitive scene of it. But when you're playing single player, having your creatures die on you, especially being a Pokemon guy, it's like the worst thing. It's like, no, you killed my T-Rex, you son of a, But yeah, I built a lot on this game, and I'm looking back at it now. This was, even though it was so controlled so poorly and ran so poorly, it was probably one of my most played games and favorite games on the system, and I was so pissed when they never updated it. Eventually, I finally gave up when a little game called Dragon Quest Builders 2 came out on the Switch, and I ended up playing that. Even though you can't like tame creatures like you can in this, you can befriend creatures or monsters in Dragon Quest Monsters or Dragon Quest Builders 2. Sorry, my brain farted there. Anyway, so you can befriend creatures. You can have like a big golem. If you haven't seen the footage for the Switch 2, like it playing on the Switch 2, it's like one of my last videos I made, so go check that out. It runs beautifully on the Switch 2, and it loads much, much faster. So I can't wait to play that. It's like every game I had for the Switch is new again. And since I stopped pretty much playing the OG Switch about, I want to say 2 years ago, I didn't really start playing it again until Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition came out, and that game is phenomenal and got me back into the Switch things, Switch way of things, no pun intended. I'm back. The whole reason I like the Switch so much is because at the time, I had to drive like 2 hours to work and 2 hours back because there was a lot of traffic. So I would sit in my car, not in traffic, of course, but during my breaks and stuff like that, I'd have time to play games on my lunch, my break, and the Switch just became like my little companion device. It was awesome. And then during the pandemic, Animal Crossing came out, and that became like my daily thing to keep me busy, keep my brain off of what was happening in the world. Between that and WWE 2K20, what a terrible wrestling game to have during a pandemic. It's like, sorry, this is the one you're stuck with until 2K22 comes out. And now we're out all the way to 2K25, and it's not as bad as 2K20 as far as like bugs are concerned. I do have a wrestling channel. Go check that out if you're curious. But every update they have for that game just kind of breaks it. So I'm really hoping, because there is supposed to be a WWE 2K game coming to the Switch too, that it's like a separate thing. Anyway, you're not here for wrestling games, you're here for PixArk. I didn't really try out any of the commands, because honestly I completely forgot how to do them, because it's the old school way. But if you played old school Ark back on the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One, it's the same thing. So when you have the controller and you want to bring up the admin command panel, you hold, it's LR, and then I think it's X, Y, or A and B at the same time. Like you go click, so it's like, these two, or is it these two, and then these at the same time, blink, or it's A and B, I can't remember, and it'll bring up the admin command panel when you're paused. And I do it in the video, but all the commands and everything, completely forgot. And there is a part in the video, like I said, where I'm trying to move some fuel source over to a minecart, and I can't get it to move. It won't move, and I forget how to do it because there was a special button press you had to do to get it to move, because on PC, you just drag and drop. Now, in the new Ark games, or not newer, but the remake, Ark Survival Ascended, they fixed that. Now it's just, you can click on it and drag it with your joystick. So much better, because if you guys played Ark near the beginning on the Xbox and PlayStation 4, you had to sit there, and it was like, the cursor would go up here, and you're like, no, I want it on the item. Then you click on the item, and you go to bring it over to, let's say, the dinosaur, or the chest, or whatever, as a fuel source, and it would go over here, and you're like, damn it, go over there. And it was, you would fight in the menu system way more than you should have. So they fixed that on the Ascended version of the game. I seriously doubt Survival Ascended will ever come to the Switch 2, because it doesn't even run on the high-end PCs. It definitely won't run on the Switch 2. If you're lucky, you'll get more stuff for the original one, Ark Survival Evolved. And honestly, they should have just added mods to that one. I don't know why they had to make a whole new game to do that. So, it is what it is. But anyway, long story short, PixArk on the Nintendo Switch 2 does run slightly better. It feels like it's 30 FPS. The graphics look slightly sharper. There is still a little bit of screen tearing here and there, but it's nowhere near as bad as it was on the original Switch. Anyway, thank you for watching, and stay frosty.